Hello and welcome to your daily oracle reading for Friday, July 24th, 2020. I'm Linda the Lightworker. I'm a shamanic practitioner and I do these daily readings to help us all stay on our life purpose path with consciousness, doing our best not to fall into any old habits that no longer serve us, and really embracing this time of unknown. So if this is your first time here, all my info is down below. LindaTheLightWorker.com is my website, or you can just email me directly, LindaTheLightWorker@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. All right, I'm doing a general reading today, especially during this time of COVID, and I'm working with the beautiful Stella Bennett's The Star That Never Walks Around deck. And this is a really fantastic deck. I'm just enjoying getting to know it. So, okay, let's look at our first card here. The first card we have is the 10 of Frogs. So the first thing I noticed in our spread today it's all about relationships. And it's about you and your partner, or it's about you and you getting ready to call in your partner. Some of you really want to be in partnership. And I'm not talking just about relationship, but I'm talking about like partnership, like somebody whom you really want to share every piece of your life with. Now, here's what's happening with this pandemic, right? Some of you have been with someone during this time and are having some interesting discoveries about each other, and you're perhaps questioning your relationship. That's a good time to do this too. And this is also a great time for you to be really looking into your relationship of what you want your relationship to grow. So the first thing I heard when I would pull these cards, I know I haven't even gotten into the meaning, but I want to tell you what I'm hearing, and these cards are just going to confirm it. So the first thing I heard was that Spirit is asking you today, and maybe this is something you ponder all weekend, but really use this as a platform to look at. I heard Abraham Hicks's phrase, and she says, I like you, seems to be going pretty well so far. I like you a lot. Let's see where this goes. Something like that. Like that's her yearly renewal. And I love that idea of renewing the vows. So that's something that I really heard strongly today. So let's look at this. This 10 of Frogs, and this is especially true for our water signs, and those are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So all of you this applies to, but this is about, look at these two loons, look at these two crazy loons mating for life. Like these guys, that's it. Like, you're my monkey. Like that's it. Like finding who your monkey is, or who's your bird of a feather, who's your loon, who's your penguin. This is about following the love, following the relationship, really seeing how the commitment is going. But I also hear that this is a great time to appreciate your relationship, appreciate your partner even more than before, but to perhaps it's time to draw up a pandemic contract of what is it that, you can put anything in there, like after 3 days of mandatory quarantine, showering will become a requirement by day 4, or something like that. Put some boundaries around. Some of you aren't getting dressed, and that's fine, but maybe there needs to be like an agreement between the partners of what's happening here. And it's to cultivate that conversation and make sure your needs and their needs are both being met. Okay, so this is what I'm hearing. Weddings, partnerships, business connections, you're falling in love. It's all about the love, feeling that love. And listen, when any of the water signs are in love, love is deep, and oh my gosh, can they just want to gobble and swallow each other up with just the most relentless adoration, let's say. So embrace that. And I love this by the light of the moon, orange in color. It's just this mystical, wonderful time. So the second card I can't make these things up, honestly. I pulled the Lovers, and you know, I keep my eyes closed when I'm shuffling. I'm in prayer and I draw the cards. And I'm just always so surprised. So anyway, these lovers, they came out naked. Look at them, naked, covering themselves, birds flying above. They're so much in love, that eye gazing. Listen, that's one of the best things about being in love, because when you're able to look into someone's soul, that eye contact is so lovely. So if you're able to have that human eye contact face to face, wow, that is a blessing. So again, the lovers are here and they are fully accepting of themselves and each other. So that willingness to be naked, what does that vulnerability bring up for you? Really to think about, okay, I'm specifically speaking to those of you who are in long, or in, it doesn't have to be long term, you've made your commitments to each other. I know many of my viewers here are in solid, committed relationships with another water sign. I love how these cards come up. So anyway, this info is for you. Like being able to have that full love and acceptance of yourself, because the water signs have a tendency, their nature is to go dive deep into dark waters, and sometimes shadowy things can emerge. So if you're not the water sign, or if you're involved with the water sign, make sure you're stating plainly what your needs are. And I really am hearing this is a time to make a pandemic renewal of vows. I was laughing with a friend of mine, and we were talking about relationships and how I would encourage having things documented, like the contract, like come up with some boundaries, some parameters, and put it in like a notebook, because you might forget. Like, I don't know. I really think having parameters will help you with some of these unknowns that are coming up. And God forbid that one of you or your partner do not have a conversation about your lives and your wishes, because our fourth card is going to show how close we are to the other reality, and how all of us with these unknowns of a pandemic are closer to, I don't want to say death, but having a conversation about what our wishes are in case of emergency. What are your wishes? So you both know. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. But in most traditional wedding vows, it says, until death do us part. And having that conversation of what does that mean for you is a real beautiful way to be able to look at your life as a whole, and not as just these little pockets of time and sections. So this is what the lovers is inviting you to do. You may feel quite vulnerable. All right, single folks, that does not mean that this does not apply to you. This is a time for you to do more self-love, more going within, and having the courage to step into the love that's around here. Because these loons are like, baby, love is here, love's here. And the lovers are like, oh yeah, right? Oh yeah. So if the love is around, love is in the air. That's what I'm hearing today. Right, a fun little lover's day. Imagine it, visualize it, think about it. What's your creative outlet? Paint it out, write it out, dance it out, sing it out, write it out, write some things, write a poem. I did this whole series of poems that came through when I was feeling really in love, or around love, like really deep in love. And it's the Handsome Man poem series, and they're really great. So it's just like cultivating that, like, what does that energy feel like to you? Really getting into that, yeah, that's what I want to feel with someone else. So use that. And then our fourth card today is this beautiful Four of Turtles. Now this is the earthly part of our reading. The turtles are a part of the earth world, so those signs, zodiac signs, are goodness, Capricorn, Taurus, and where's my brain? Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. I know, I'm looking at the calendar. I know these names. So look at this brave. Look at this brave on the hunt. Right? Brave on the hunt. So if you don't have the love that you're desiring, embrace feeling embrace that vulnerability and be brave on your hunt. Use not only, look, he's stalking. Now, I'm not suggesting you go stalk somebody, but listen, maybe it's time you open up one of those apps, or maybe you just start looking at some profiles. Because honestly, where are we going to meet someone? Or maybe you're on your weekly grocery shopping and you see, look at those, there's a couple of good looking buffalo up ahead. You know, maybe the buffalo go hunting in the daytime. Maybe the buffalo, you know your hunting skills, maybe they need to go at night. And it's about nourishment. So I say, look in the grocery stores if you want to meet someone in public, and do the literal, like, just say hello. You can have more courage now with a mask on because part of your face is covered and only your eyes will speak. So isn't that interesting? Holy cow. Don't be afraid. Be brave. That's what it's saying. Use those hunting skills. Make wise decisions. Be solid. This guy knows how to hunt. He's not charging by himself. He's got a plan. So make sure you're making sound decisions if you're out there on the hunt. All right, let's jump into our final card today, which comes from another new deck. This is the Wisdom of Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, and I love these images. This is a Hay House product, and boy, all the info's down below in diddly-do, but these images are so great. I really felt I'd seen this card before, but I couldn't remember if we threw it or not, but here it is. And it is the Between the Worlds. Another bird, right? So we got birds everywhere today. This flamenco. Now these images are incredible. Now the first thing that I was reminded of in the Between Worlds was just to share with you part of my shamanic path. The first shaman I studied with for several years, his name was John Two Birds, and he always encouraged me to walk the good red road, but he also intended that red road to be in between the two realities, being in balance with both worlds, spiritual world, material world. And then when I started studying with my Mayan shaman, I discovered that like him, he and I were both in Mayan astrology called world bridge walkers. And what that means, we have abilities to walk in between two worlds. So these two major shamans in my life have encouraged me to walk in both worlds, but be in balance. So some of you might be saying, well, what does that mean, walk in another world? Well, that means to be either in the dream world. One of my soul sisters, maybe some of you know her, she has an incredible ability to walk between worlds in her dream time and come back with tremendous insight and information and be able to write about it and blog about it. I mean, it's incredible what she's doing. So having that ability to know that you're in the spirit world or you're conversing with your higher self, or perhaps your ancestors, or I get a lot of ancestors. I'm able to hear and feel them, sometimes smell, some come in kind of smelly, but that's one of my abilities, but also to walk into other realities with others and then return with information. So some of you might be doing this on your own. I know everyone has the ability to do it. It's just the willingness or the skills and the ability to learn, because there are some new and interesting concepts, at least the way I describe it in my workshops, which I'll be having online soon. So hang in there, info's coming. So this walking between worlds is about you being able to be comfortable without, let's say you and your partner are in this you're on a sea over, you're in the boat over here, and it's kind of, the wind's kind of kicking up and you can't quite see the clear skies ahead, but you have to get to that point of being in balance so that you're able to feel your future, because there's so much uncertainty. Where are we headed? Are we headed out of this blue water, blue skies into tumultuous seas. It doesn't look that bad. Kind of looks like Seattle. You know, it doesn't look too bad up ahead. Or is that from behind? We don't know. So being in balance with your sense of reality, where you are, because our future is still, I mean, when I ask Spirit, what's going to happen? How's it going to unfold? I still see that 10 come up, which is the Wheel of Fortune card. Things are still in process. We are not out of this yet. So making good, healthy boundaries, having conversations. Maybe you don't like when somebody's Zooming and while you're trying to meditate or whatever. Come up with some new boundaries around your home or a dialogue. And don't forget to just highlight all the stuff that you love about being together so much during the day. Now, I know a lot of you, both of you are at home. Or perhaps one of you is going out and you're not feeling safe or comfortable. Have those talks. Now, today's a 5-star decision-making day, especially around your relationships. Talk about it. And if you're separating, you know, do it amicably. Yeah, that's it. Amicably. Be nice to each other. All right, kitten, that's our reading for today. If this is one of your first time stopping by, thank you for being here. And I have some new subscribers. I appreciate all of you. Always, please let me know how you're doing down below in the subscription, below the subscription button in the comments. And I try and witness it every day, see what's going on online. I did want to share with you, I'm doing some trials right now of doing small, intimate shamanic journey workshops online, which is my specialty. And that is my ability to teach you to be able to engage with your higher self and to really learn how to receive messages from spirit guides and energy that's all around you. So let me know if you're interested in finding out more. These workshops are going to be offered through Facebook, and we're going to be gathering on Facebook Messenger. So if you're on Facebook, please go ahead and follow me at Linda the Lightworker on Facebook. And that's where I'm going to be promoting them, and we'll be gathering there. Or that's the intent. We'll see. Well, who knows what Spirit wants. But that's going to be coming up soon. So pay attention to that if you want. If you want to find out more, I'll have some blurbs up soon about what that means, what a workshop means. They're going to be short, like an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours at the longest, and small with a total of 4 people. So that intimacy allows us to go deep into what's coming up for you. So it's a great time for talking, sharing, and going within and then receiving messages. So I'll let you know more about that as we start launching some dates there. All right, do those things that I tell you to do. Take care of yourself today. Be nice to you. And really just, wow, embrace the love. That's what Spirit says. Today it's all about the love. So, you know, as RuPaul says, and I love her so much, you got to love yourself before you can love anyone else. So remember, take care of yourself first. And that's kind of tricky, I know, but you can do it. All right, my dear. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.